Welcome everyone to DLA. David Lombardino here. Today I have the pleasure to be speaking with Chien-Wen Yang. Chien, how are you doing today?
I'm doing awesome. Thank you for
Okay.
asking.
Yeah, great. Well, it's a pleasure to have you join me. So Chien is an international medical graduate. She was recently accepted into a glomerular diseases subspecialty fellowship. And today she'll be talking about using DLA's services for help with her personal statement for this subspecialty of nephrology. So Chien, could you tell us a little bit more about yourself and what brought you to DLA?
So I'm original from Taiwan, and then I matched the U.S. residency program, IM specialty, in 2015 with DOA's help. And then I did 3 years residency and then 2 years hospitalist, and then I'm currently in nephrology fellowship at UPenn. And then I decided to apply for a subspecialty. And also, I forgot one thing. DOA helps me so many times, so I forgot. So I got into the master program, the epidemiology master program with DOA's help as well.
Yeah.
And then I decided to do a subspecialty fellowship with GlomeCon. It's an international glomerular disease fellowship led by Harvard. It's very competitive, and I want to thank everything DOA did for me. And how do I know DOA? Was a very interesting story as well. I have a senior. I kind of just submit my application package to him, and then hope he will look kind of take a look for me. And then he was like, no, I don't think this is the correct way to write personal statement. And he also was a customer of DOA service. So he asked me, have you heard about DOA? And I was like, no, what's that? That was back in 2014.
Yeah.
You know what he said? He said, how could you come to a US and want to match for a residency program without knowing DOA? And I was like, oh, wow. And I was like, I need to kind of take a look at the website and know this program a little bit. So I submitted my personal statement to DOA service. And then I think I used the one with 4 rounds, and there was one with critique and there's another one with consultation, right?
Yeah.
I think I used the consultation way, and I attached my CV. And actually, I think you are the editor at that time, and then you rewrite it. Not rewrite. You suggest me to rewrite it. I think originally I was focusing on my experience in medicine or abroad, and you said, you know what make you stand out is actually your research, the research you did, because all the research ideas from me. So you said that's kind of make you special, and then you make me shift the focus, and that's a great success. So help me get into the residency program this time too. I think glomerular disease fellowship is a very competitive one. And then Terry is the one I work with, and then she kind of it's the same thing. She modified the way I try to present, and then, just kind of present myself better. So I really appreciate it.
Yeah, well, and it's been an absolute pleasure, kind of helping you achieve these different milestones with kind of developing your career and everything. So you're in the nephrology fellowship right now. What specifically motivated you or attracted you to seek that subspecialty?
Oh, I think glomerular disease fellowship or glomerular disease has everything I'm interested in. We have to choose between specialty. I mean, you can only choose one subspecialty, normally that's what people do. But I also love rheumatology. In glomerular disease, we have people with lupus nephritis. So I get to see rheumatology patients. And I also love pathology. I was debating whether I want to do IM or pathology, like internal medicine versus pathology, when I was a medical student. But with glomerular disease, I can have them all. I can have mutual patients with rheumatology, hematology, oncology, and then I also love hematology. And then pathology is we do renal biopsy, and we always get the opportunity to, just run upstairs and then, see the slides under the microscope with pathologists. So that's why I chose glomerular disease subspecialty.
Okay, but you applied just for one program, right? Why was that?
Yeah, it's because For physical program, there was only probably 3 or 4 physical program, like the on-site program. I think in Columbia, UNC, I think Mayo Clinic has one, but I am in the 3rd-year research program, so I kind of wanna, it's a very hectic schedule. I have to finish my master course and then thesis, but you know, I can just use the last year. It's an add-on program, so you don't really have to do an extra year of glomerular disease fellowship. And at UPenn, they don't have it every year, so it's, you know, an online program, just like 5 to 6 hours per week. I can get to know more about a subspecialty program, so that's why I chose.
Yeah. Okay. Like as an applicant for this particular program, what advantages and disadvantages did you see that you had?
I have a lot of advantages because I'm in my, I think it's they accept application even from attending physician around the world because it's an international program. That's why it's very competitive.
Mhm.
So I would say this, as probably the disadvantage I have is I'm a 3rd-year fellow, so I'm not an attending. So I don't really have a lot of years of, I don't have many years of practice experience.
Mhm.
But I think advantage is I you also have some applicants are in their 2nd year of fellowship. So I'm like 1 year more senior compared with, I would say half of the applicants are in their 2nd year fellowship. So I get 1 extra year experience, and also my thesis focus is in glomerular disease. I think those are the advantage I have.
Okay, nice. And so when it came to actually writing the personal statement for this application, were there like what specific roadblocks or barriers did you find to writing that?
I think it just, like I said before, I think it's just so many things. And I want to add that to a previous question. Also, the advantage I have DOA. So originally when I started to write, it's just so many informations, and I love all these like different subspecialty, or because nephrology is technically a subspecialty of internal medicine. I also love other subspecialty like rheumatology or hematology, pathology, and I also have my own experience with the patient. Because, for example, lupus nephritis, they are normally young females, so they have, you know, a lot of social issue as well. So just so many things I want to put in one personal statement. So I think that's very difficult, like what to write in the first paragraph, and then how to make it flow. And Terry really did a great job guide me through how to do that.
Yeah, awesome. So, and of course, the service that you selected for this, you mentioned, kind of goes through multiple rounds. How was your feeling kind of going from like the 1st round, 2nd round, 3rd round? How did you see, like, how was that experience for you?
I really like the way DOA does it. It's because I know there are other editing programs. They can even, if you give them a CV, they'll write a personal statement. I'm sure you're aware of, like, there are programs like that exist. So first, I think every time you go through like the process, like 1st round, 2nd round, and 3rd round, it's all yours. Like it's my idea. So in the interview, the glomerular disease fellowship doesn't have an interview, but normally for a residency program, there are interviews. So they will ask you about your personal statement, but if somebody else write it, it just, like, people can tell it's just not from you. So I think first of all, going through these like 1st and 2nd and 3rd round also make us more well prepared for the interview even. If they ask you about your personal statement, oh, you know, like, you know, maybe Terry or David asked me that question, and that's how I figure out, that's how I write down my personal statement. I think that's a very useful tools, even for just outside of personal statement for interview. And second is, I think you guys set a word limit, but you kind of set it high, so you can kind of just concentrate it, or kind of just polish it when you're doing the final round. I really like that part. I can write all my thoughts, and then you can decide like what to make it flow, how to make it flow, and how to make it precise.
Yeah. Yeah. So you would say certainly a benefit, if not perhaps the biggest benefit you got from this service was just kind of helping you sort through all of your ideas and kind of really kind of decide like which ones are the best ones to put forward for, making you stand out as an applicant, and really kind of help refine your thinking, not only for the personal statement, but if there was going to be an interview or when there is an interview, kind of prepare you for, being ready.
Interview material, right?
Yeah.
Definitely.
Okay, awesome. So you would say that after using DLA's services, you were able to achieve the goal you wanted to accomplish?
Definitely, yeah.
That's
I recommended DLA to a lot of my juniors as well.
good.
That's why I'm very happy. I think it's my pleasure to be here and share my story.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, and it's a pleasure to hear this from you. And thank you very much for sharing your story. Is there anything else that you would like to add?
Choose DLA. And thank you, David. Yeah.
Yeah, well, thank you as well. It's been a pleasure helping you, along your career so far. We look forward to helping you again in the future with whatever needs you might have. And of course, congratulations on your success of getting accepted to this fellowship.
And thank you, David. And thank you so much for your help.
Yeah, absolutely. Before I let you go, if you had one piece of advice that you would give to others who might be interested in our services and maybe in your same situation, maybe they're hesitant about it because they're not familiar with it, what would you tell them?
I would say start early so you have more time to think about, because coming up with a personal statement, I'm focusing more on personal statement because that's the service I've been using.
Yeah.
I think coming up with a personal statement can take weeks or even months. So I would advise people to start early.
Okay.
And you do want to choose a service which, it's directly from you, not from the editor's thought, because you want people to see the real you and the best part of you. I think that's what I think, or a piece of advice for people want to apply for any like residencies or either or college entrance.
Okay. Awesome. Well, thank you again.
Thank you.
All right.
Have a good day. Yeah.
Bye-bye.